The SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, is finally released. I am a big SpongeBob fan. I love this show. I liked it the most in its first 3 seasons. The first movie was pretty good. Second movie was okay. I'll admit I haven't really watched any new SpongeBob for a while, but the early stuff I think is classic, and I've always loved it. And in this film, SpongeBob's pet snail Gary is taken by an evil king who uses snail goo to make himself look young. So SpongeBob and Patrick team up to go and rescue Gary. I was looking forward to seeing this movie last year. SpongeBob is one of the last cartoons of like the golden Nickelodeon era that's still running and is still popular, and every once in a while new stuff comes out. I'm a big fan of the 90s Nicktoons, and so naturally I wanted to see what this movie was about. It was supposed to come out last year. I was really excited for it. I even bought this thing. Look at this thing. This is like the greatest thing I own. It's the classic SpongeBob meme. Look, I'm gonna open it. You guys get a review and an unboxing. Check me out. Look at this thing. This is so stupid. Can he stand up? Holy shit, he can stand up. That should just stay there forever now. But then the pandemic pushed it back, and it came out in other countries, but not in America, and so I had to wait to see it. And I finally got to see it, and man, was this a mediocre movie. I was very disappointed to see that it was sort of like an excuse to promote Camp Coral, this new SpongeBob show. The movie often derails from its narrative to focus on SpongeBob and his friends when they were young at a place called Camp Coral. This happens quite a few times in the film. Lo and behold, there's a new Camp Coral show coming out. I guess it's out already, I don't know. I'm not that type of guy that's like, oh, new stuff from an old property that I loved when I was a kid. That can't be good. That's gonna suck. I'm not that guy. I'm open to new things. But it just felt kind of weird. But that's not to say that this is by any means a terrible film or that they only made this movie to promote a show. It was clearly part of their agenda. But the animation is really gorgeous. It's fully 3D this time. The last film, Sponge Out of Water, combined 2D animation and 3D animation whenever they went outside of the water. I think that was sort of their way of easing us classic 2D fans into the 3D era for this show, because this film is fully 3D, and while it does look beautiful, it doesn't quite look like SpongeBob to me. I think I'm just very used to the way he looks when he's 2D, and I've always appreciated that. But obviously, they put a ton of work into this animation, and it does look very beautiful. The film has a few major themes that it wants young people to take away, and all of them are very positive, and there's a lot of good morals going around. This isn't a film that panders to children in any way or makes children feel stupid. It's actually a fairly smart film when it comes to childlike humor. There's some silly jokes, but some of them actually have some thought behind them, as the best SpongeBob jokes do. The most prominent theme is friendship, how important it is being a friend to people who don't have any friends. And in one of the film's funnier scenes, it hilariously pokes fun at the structure that movies like this tend to have when it comes to a friendship or relationship, when they break up, when they fight, when they get back together. But the film also has a pretty good message about how we view ourselves physically, how people might perceive us if we don't look like a magazine model. And I can tell you that if I had entertainment like that for me when I was in middle school, at my heaviest, I would have really liked seeing that. So it was really nice to see a children's animation film address things like body positivity in a way that could be very valuable for kids to hear. Unfortunately, the film didn't really feel like it had a story. It kind of felt like a series of sketches, and most of them weren't very funny. There were a few that stood out that I thought were hilarious. And I love these characters. I love SpongeBob and Patrick. Squidward is always going to be my favorite character. I relate the most to him, probably because he's just like, well, you know, he's kind of like me. So even though the story felt kind of mediocre to me, at the very least, the film had the characters that I know and love going for it. And the Camp Coral tie-in stuff felt strange, and that aspect of the movie was a disappointment, although young people who want to watch Camp Coral could be very excited by that. I just feel like it was unnecessary and didn't really need to be in the film. I'm gonna give the SpongeBob movie Sponge on the Run a C+. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching, but I also want to give a big thank you to the sponsor for this video, Shopify, and the documentary Own the Room. Shopify is the leading commerce platform with the best tools to start, run, and grow your business, whether you sell online, in person, or on social media. Shopify has empowered over 1 million people around the world to bring their entrepreneurial passions to life and achieve independence. They're showcasing real stories and faces behind entrepreneurship that you don't normally see, like with their latest documentary, Own the Room. Own the Room is a documentary that follows 5 students building the next great companies as they compete in the world's biggest entrepreneurship competition. Shopify partnered with National Geographic to produce this documentary to show that anyone, no matter where you're from or what life experiences you've had, can be an entrepreneur. And from my perspective, I think this is great for just about anybody to see, but especially young people who have a lot of dreams, who have a lot of passions, and who feel that perhaps they could create something really big one day. And especially if people are telling you that you can't, because I absolutely know what that feels like. 100% know what that feels like. And so it was really inspiring to watch all of these young people figure that out and pursue this dream. Own the Room is now available for streaming on Disney+. You can watch the full trailer and learn more about the movie at the link in the description below. Thanks again to Shopify and the documentary Own the Room for sponsoring this video. And as always, thank you guys for watching. If you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.